I am Quamon Fowler. I am the Texas tenor and saxophonist, jazz educator, and I have 9 CD projects out and some singles. I also am the founder of Texas Tenor Academy, and performing artist. Tour and do different things with my own band and play with others here around the Metroplex in the area. But I am excited right now because I'm working on a private community, building a private community of mentoring group. And so I wanted to talk about something that I think everyone needed to be mindful of. And this is going to light a fire with you as well. Okay, so here we go. All right. The title or what I want to talk about is being transformative. All right, so think about this. I was encouraged because I was at church today and I had one of my brothers there at church. He said that he was encouraged to go ahead and start a podcast from a podcast that he had listened to. And I was pretty much saying, just do it. Don't waste time. Make it happen. I forgot to what degree I was what I was talking about, but he was inspired from it. And I have my podcast available for the Productive Cube, podcast. And so let me so he was talking about that and just excited, telling me that now he feels like he's in his lane. He feels comfortable with what he was doing. I think he was doing graphic design and doing T-shirts, but that wasn't as a good use of his time as what he feels he's doing right now. And so as I was thinking about that, I was like, man, I did something and I forgot about it, and it inspired somebody, and somebody created a whole business from some of the stuff that I was sharing. And so, a lot of times we take for granted what we do naturally. Common sense isn't so common. And like your work ethic that you have that's natural for you, somebody else just don't have it, might not just have it like you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's vantage point is different. Everybody starts from a different place. And so a lot of times your normal is somebody else's extraordinary. And so you got to think about a lot of times when you see someone who's really driven and really disciplined, you ask the question, like, what is it that is making that person so disciplined, or why do they have such fire and zeal, And so one of the things I can, reflect on personally, when I guess being a kid, I was born visually impaired, some type of trauma at birth or something like that, which caused scar tissue on my retina. So I had to get big books and big things in order to see, and I had counselors and stuff when I was a kid. And I remember the devil would try to play mind games with me or make me feel defeated or make me look down on myself. But for some strange reason, I just would not go there. It's like I felt like, the Holy Spirit stepped in and encouraged me. One time I remember I was like, I was at school, but I was in like a room with the counselor, or they walked, because I was taken out of class. They used to come and get me out of class so I could meet with my counselor. So, but I was needing to take a test or something like that, and then I just kind of was down on myself a little bit for a little second, and I felt something inside of me raise up. It's like, no, you're beautifully, wonderfully made. I can't even say all the things that I felt, but it was this spirit that just made me feel like, oh no, I'm more than a conqueror. I can do anything. I just had this drive. And I remember from that point on, I was just a juggernaut. Like juggernaut is an unstoppable force. So I started playing violin, right? And so when I started playing violin, I got ones in the solo and ensemble contests and stuff like that back in fifth grade, and I was really good. I was picking up stuff quick by ear, and I learned how to read and all of that, but I just memorized everything. And so by the time I got to seventh grade, I started playing saxophone, and then I was really good at that. And the first day that they taught us one note, um, for band, summer band camp or whatever, preparing for middle school band, he only showed us one note on the first day. So I went up to him after class and I was like, "Hey, you only showed us one note. Like, what's up with that? I need to know the rest of the notes." He's like, "Well, this is only first day of class. You'll get those, tomorrow, and as the coming weeks come, you'll learn the rest of the notes." I was like, "Oh no, that wasn't good enough." So I went home and I practiced the rest of the day and learned all the notes on the saxophone. And then I started learning songs. And, the rest is history. Like I was recording. By the time I hit 14, this was 12. So by the time I hit 14, I had started learning Charlie Parker, Joshua Redmond stuff, Sonny Rollins stuff. I started playing and I won competitions and back in high school and playing gigs. And I was operating and doing things as a professional by the time I was 14. So it took me saxophone 2 years, right, to get to a level. And then I remember it was a saxophone player locally who came to my high school and he was playing. So I was playing so much horn. And I saw him later and he's like, "Dude, you were playing better than me, way better than me in high school. And I'm a professional. So I didn't know. I mean, that was my normal, right? And so and a lot of the stuff too, I'm talking my story, it's in my book, The Christian Musician. So if you don't have it, go get The Christian Musician. Oh, let me turn it the right way. So this is The Christian Musician. This is available on Kindle. You can buy it for book on demand, or you can do what else? Audible. It's on Audible, so you can get it and listen to it. I did narrate it. So, but anyway, all right, where was I at? I was talking about. Dang, I got a lot. Oh, so I in high school, I found out about the Thelonious Monk competition, and I saw that Joshua Redmond had won first place in it. So when I was 15, I was like, "Hey, I want to do that competition, and I'm gonna win it." You know what I'm saying? I had that idea that I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna win it. That's the way I felt at 15. So when I turned 28, I won the Thelonious Monk competition. I won third place, but a lot of the people, the guy from Concord, the president or whatever, when we was, leaving Kodak Theater, going to the place, a reception area or whatever, he was like, "You should have won. You should have won." A lot of people who were there, they was like, "You should have won." I'm not saying that like I feel bad or, I'm just telling you the story. But it wasn't God's will for me to get into that arena like that. He had another path. But I'm just telling you, from 15 to 28, I said I was going to do something and I did it. I accomplished it. Okay? So my normal is my normal. But I understand that others don't have that. And like, you ask the question, why do you have that? Like, how do you get that? How can I get that? And so, first of all, it always starts with a matter of belief and faith. You can say talent and gift. Let's talk about talents and gifts. All right. And I talked about this with another musician, drummer. He was saying, he's probably not the most gifted and or even the most talented, but he doesn't care. He works hard because he loves it. And because you love it, then your talent will improve. Your skill will improve. You know what I'm saying? You can always improve. If you don't have a natural ability to do something, you can always work at it and get better. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of you loving what it is that you're pursuing, and then you're going to get better because you enjoy what you're doing. And so, let alone if you're gifted and talented already, and then you love what you do, then that's going to just push you forward even faster. Okay? And so that's kind of where I am. And so I was thinking about this because this is like so many epiphany moments happening from the conversations that I've had, the training and stuff that I've been listening to. And I'm like, man, this is the time that we need to be transformative. Like, you ought to be tired of the same old routine, the same old type of gigs or the same old type of playing, the way you sound. You know what I'm saying? You ought to be tired of the same old, same old. Something needs to happen. Well, you got to change. You got to make some changes. And let me tell you, I've been talking about mentorship here. And so I started a group, and I could have put a link in the description of this video, so you can click that link and go sign up to join my private mentorship group, okay? Because for me, I'm seeing what the components are that people need, and it's two legs, right? It's mentorship and it's community, all right? So it's mentorship and it's community. And there's a principle that's so powerful. I don't care what you believe. There's a blueprint and some principles that's wrapped up into what Jesus did. He was doing all of these miracles. He was doing all these signs and wonders, and he was affecting the community. And so much so, he picked people and he was like, hey, follow me. And they left their family. They left whatever they was doing because they've been watching and hearing about this guy. And it's like, whatever I got going on in my life is not compared to what this guy got going on. I need to follow this guy. And they did. And Jesus, through his example, he took 12 disciples and turned the whole world, affected the whole world by him mentoring and being an example, pouring into these 12 disciples who affected the whole world. We still talking about him today. You know what I'm saying? His example, his message, and the community that that they were around. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying of them being with Jesus, those disciples. So now I know this is a minority. So everybody is not going to say yes. Everybody is not going to follow, a great mentor or follow somebody. I'm saying this is a principle that you can even, and a blueprint that you can even extract from the life and example of Jesus. But then if you think about how we are just in the natural, from the time I was a kid, when I got to 14, I had a mentor. I had a saxophonist, Miss Rochella Washington, Parks, Washington. She was my mentor, and she turned me on to all of the jazz that I listened to, and she worked with me about changes and helped me play keys and, told me about gigging. And she was a mentor to me. She poured into me. And so she prepared me for these different competitions and worked with me as a coach. And so by the time I got out of high school, I was like light years ahead of a lot of people that were my peers. Okay. And then once I got to college, I had Alvin Baptiste, jazz clarinetist, phenomenal educator as well. He's passed away, but he poured into me. He was Branford Marsalis's teacher and others. 20 years before me, Branford studied with Mr. Alvin Baptiste. And I studied with Mr. Baptiste, and he just loved it because he realized, oh, man, I got me another one, And so he poured into me. And so all of the stuff, I was just like a sponge because I wanted it. And the community there at the school was nurturing for us, and we wrote music. I practiced, I performed, I got better. I was being challenged, but I was just doing it because it was an environment, it was a community, and then it was a mentor, right? And so saying all of that, I'm like, yo, um, this is like an epiphany moment right now because I'm just like, you know what? I want to really help people. I want to be transformative. And it's only so much that you can do on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? If you are one and you're being inspired and you're taking in a lot of information from this one and that one and Instagram, and you got all this stuff going on, man, look, information is information. Like, you can get it, I mean, just at the snap of a finger. You can get all the information, but the problem that a lot of you might face is implementation. Like, I have people who know me. They always say, that's why I created my podcast, Productive Q, because I was always told that I was always getting stuff done. I was always doing something, you know what I'm saying? Or one of the brothers at church, he's like, man, Q, it's like you always say that you're gonna do something, and then before you know it, you've already done it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just how I roll. So when I hear something that's inspiring, or when I hear something that's good, I hear it, and I'm thinking about how I can implement it, like how I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So you can have conversations with people and they say things that's a shock to your system, because we all have a system, and sometimes our systems aren't working, or sometimes our systems need to be updated and tweaked. So you can talk to somebody who got a good system that's really earning a lot from their system, or they're performing at a high level, their skill level is high, and their presentation, everything is high. And so you see that and you're like, dang, man, that's nice. And then it challenges your system. So what do you have to do? You have to make some changes and tweaks. And sometimes you got to stop. It's like, wait a minute, what I'm doing is not working. I need to change what I'm doing because I want the results like how this person has. And sometimes it takes for you to stop doing what you're doing and follow that person, right? That's the same principle. This happens if you're a believer or not. If you see somebody who's killing, or you hear somebody that's killing, that sounds good, that's got their stuff together, you going to take note and you can be like, man, what are they doing? I want to learn. I want to know. You're going to follow them. You know what I'm saying? You're going to follow them. And until you get what you need to get for yourself. And that's kind of what I did with my playing. I would follow or listen to different musicians, different artists, from Sonny Rollins to John Coltrane to Joshua Redmond to James Carter, Sonny Stitz, Johnny Griffin. I would literally get a lot of recordings with them and just keep listening to it and learning and listening and learning till I sounded like them. You know what I'm saying? I did that, and I didn't realize that part of that was my gift, but the other part was my passion. And if you're gifted and you're passionate, you love what you're doing, then it's not a chore. It's not something that you dread. I enjoy practicing. I enjoy getting in the zone because it's good for me mentally. It's good for me spiritually. It's good for me physically. It affects the brain from the motor cortex to the audio cortex to the visual cortex. All of that is good for you. It's stimulating to the brain. It fights against you having problems with Alzheimer's, later, dementia and all of that kind of stuff. You got to be engaging. The older that we get, the more comfortable we get, or can get. But at the same time, you got to have that childlike faith and belief, so that you can still dream and desire to go farther beyond where you are, to where you keep on practicing, you keep on growing. I heard somebody say, growth, change is inevitable or something. It was talking about how growth is optional, where um, things is always changing around us, but sometimes people don't grow because they've gotten lazy or they've gotten complacent. Whereas growth is a choice. Like I literally have to learn new songs. I got to learn etudes, classical stuff that challenges me. I have to even change my business. I have to upgrade my business. I have to charge more. You know what I'm saying? I have to do a lot of things that would make me better and present what I have in a better fashion. And so, because I choose to, I love what I do, I have to carry my whole platform and everything that I do and change stuff just the same way as my skill might be high in my musicianship or playing or writing and improvising. Everything else has to line up with that. So that challenges me. I listen to business people. I watch how they present. I watch their their courses and I check that stuff out. And I was like, dang, I got to get my stuff together, right? So they're being transformative. They're affecting me. I'm being transformative because I'm sharing from what I've received and the fire and the spirit of what I have. And so you're getting fired up. You're getting inspired. Then you're being challenged. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way we need to be. We got to be transformative. And remember, I said it. You have to follow somebody and you have to be in the community. Okay. So the reason why I did this video today, I was inspired and I wanted to share it, but I also want to encourage you to click that link, go to that page, put in your name and your email, and then I will send you a link to where you can join my private community and schedule a 15-minute Zoom call with me. And what I'm going to do is kind of ask you some questions about what are some of the things that you struggle with. And I'm going to talk to you, get an idea of what it is you're looking for in terms of what would be ideal for you and where you are in, your future self. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get an idea of where you are, the challenges you face, so that I can help you craft a blueprint and we can be transformative. You can be transformative, or I can help you to be transformative. So that's what I'm offering. All you have to do is click that link that's in the description of this video. So that's what's up. So we got some phenomenal stuff going on in the background. Remember, also on the 25th of April, I have a good friend of mine, Steve Pruitt, phenomenal drummer. He has a drum community that I think he has over 40 something members. Program is like $5,000. And so you can do the math. That's like over 200 grand. But anyway, he's going to be talking to the community. For those people who want to check that out, just go ahead and click the link. It's actually going to be one that is it's a workshop, a part of Texas Tenor Academy. So if you're not a Texas Tenor Academy member, then you have to pay to have access to that particular the workshop. Okay. But that's going to be strong. You'll get a chance to hear his story, Steve's story, what he did to get where he is today, and be able to answer some questions. That's going to be phenomenal. Okay. All right. So that's going to be at 6:30 on April the 25th. That's a Thursday, April 25th. And I'll be sure to have the link. I'll send it to you once you get on, send me a message and, you get on the list for being a part of the private group. I'm going to announce everything in there. Okay. So if you're serious, you want to transform your life, then hook up with me. And then I'll share with you a lot of good insights so we can take it to the next level. All right, that's it for now. We will see you on the next one. All right, peace.